So I'm doing my training, striking, and a curious thing happened. A bug, which later turned out to be black and white and gray, the size of a small moth or butterfly. He came and aeromambulated me, or circumambulated me 3 times clockwise. He flew around me 3 times clockwise, then paused, reversed, flew around, and landed on my heart. I looked at him, but then he stuck his tongue out, I guess, like honeybees or flies do to taste, and I moved my finger. Hey, don't do that. He didn't bite me yet at this point. And then he flew away, and I'm like, all right, whatever, and I continued training. Then he flies up behind me and bites me on the back. And then I chased him off, and then I continued practice. But then this guy starts coming back. He's decided he wants to have a go with me, or go at me is the correct word. And probably for the next half an hour, I engaged in a aerial war with this thing. He's so much faster than a hummingbird or a fly, and he's crafty, sneaky. He would do a flyby attack, whirl around, and because of his colors, he disappears into the background, camouflage with the colors of the background. But I can hear him when he gets close, and so I'm like fighting blind. So I backed up into my training field, and I remembered that sandals can be used as blades. If someone is attacking you with a knife and you don't have a blade, of course, if you're really good at the higher advanced level, you don't need a blade, and you can just knock it out of his hands at will. But at a lower level, you can use sandals, flip-flops, shoes as a weapon, as a blade. So I used them. And at first I was doing a defensive swing, covering my back and chest, because I couldn't see him. And so I would take a step and then reverse and walk counterclockwise. But every 1 or 2, 3 steps I would reverse, because he likes to come from behind. And then so you're like fighting a ghost, really, and he's so fast, and he's really very, very silent. You only hear him when he's within kissing distance, very close. You don't hear him at arm's distance. So finally, I mean, this is a long fight. All right, right now I got a honeybee on me. That's okay. Honeybee landed on my left hand. Hello, honeybee. They really like the scent of me, because vegetarian, etc. So finally he came at me, and because I was in my field where I've cleared, so the background the ground color is uniform, tan. I could see him, and I managed to swat him with the sandals, and he fell to the ground, and I thought he was dead. Because I warned him, I said, hey, go in peace. If you insist on attacking me, then I will send you to the judge. And I thought he was dead. I was going forward to take a closer look. He was down on the ground on his back, not moving. And I was thinking to deliver a final coup de grace just to be sure. But I thought he was dead. And then suddenly he jumped up, and he's just as fast as before. After I swatted him with my sandals to the ground. Because if you watch in the old Rob Roy movie with Liam Neeson and Tim Roth, before the duel, the way Tim Roth swishes his rapier foil sword, better would have been an English backhand sword. Backhand is important for Buji because there's no telegraph. It's an absolutely invisible strike. And that would be knife fingers, dart fingers. So he jumps up, he goes away for 5 minutes, recovers his breath, then he comes back with a vengeance. And he's like a ninja. I'm training and he'd come up and land on the side of a pole very close and spy on me. And then now the ground is too hot, so I go back to the porch to put my shoes on. And he comes onto the porch, lands on the table, like mocking me, like, yeah, I'm stalking you and I'm fast. What the fuck are you going to do about it? I mean, I swear, this guy is like 5 times, maybe 10 times faster than a hummingbird. He's just zipping around. And he's crafty. He would zip by, attack, I'd swat at him, and then he'd retreat, and he'd fly away to the west. And then once he's, 50 yards away, he would do a wide circle back, circle around, and then come and attack me in the back from the east. This guy is, half an hour battle. And so I remembered that, I used to punch flies out of mid-flight because of doing the Xunun Tao and the Qigong and the breathing. And I could punch the fly out of mid-flight. So I changed I put the sandals down. I had been tucking them into my belt as a weapon so they're at hand when I need them. But instead I just remembered my hands are weapons. And in fact I said, my hands are magic weapons plus 13. Let's go. And I practiced a few times in the air with my hands, and sure enough, every time I move them, the wind swishes. It doesn't matter what direction, up, down, left, right, forward. The wind would swish. So I just waited, and I thought, maybe it's for the best. He learned his lesson. He can go away in peace. But no, he came back, and this time he was more aggressive. So when he came back, he zoomed in on me like a shark. He circled around, did a dive attack, missed. And then he retreated, came around and locked on me, and then he started coming in. And I said, that's it. Come on, boy. Come on. And then as he got close, I hit him with a left hand palm strike. I didn't use a punch this time, just a palm strike. And he fell to the ground. Hard. And then I jumped forward to stomp him. But he recovered quick. He got up. And I just missed him because he moved. But by now he was wounded, and he flew away, this time slowly in a straight line. He wasn't doing this whirling zigzag anymore. And he flew away to the neighbor's house and landed on the chimney. I can see him. He's still parked there, not moving. More than 15 minutes. I can see him from 75 yards away. I have good eyesight. But curious, this time he's not recovering. And so what I understood now is when I swatted him with the sandals, although the sandals are rubber and they're heavier, it didn't really hurt him at all. He recovered, immediately, and was just as fast as before. But when I hit him with my hand, as I said, it was a magic weapon plus 13. The vibration shock power, it has wounded him. He may die. He's been parked there for 20-some minutes now, and he's not moving. And that's because of the transfer of the energy and the speed of the the vibration of the shock power. When it goes into his body, which is majority water, it just... And he hasn't moved. He's parked on that neighbor's wall or chimney. 20-some minutes, not moved. Little ground squirrel stalking me. She's kind of funny. So, not only, I immediately thanked God, this is a blessing. Not only am I reminded that the hands, of course I've always known my hands and feet and fists and fingers and claws and talons and elbows and shoulders and knees and shins, and they're all weapons. Some people even like to use the head, but I'm not too keen on it. It's kind of silly. There's much more powerful ways to get the job done, let's say. But not only are my hands, weapons, but that's what they do in the U.S. with someone who's highly trained. They want to register their hands and feet as weapons. Good luck with that, mate. But I knew, many years ago, 30 years ago, that my hands were faster than a fly in mid-flight. All the bird just went after that bug and got him, and the bird's eating him now. This kind of bird is, it's got a yellow underbelly. It's a little bit bigger than a finch. Might be an Arizona wren, I'm not quite sure. But because he was parked there not moving, he was wounded from that palm strike I gave him. And the bird still has him in his mouth and he's flying away. So he was wounded. He no longer had any speed. And as he flew away, I told him, that's right. You want some more? You come back, I'll give you some more. I will send you to Yamaraj. Well, he's gone to Yamaraj. But before that happened, I later did say a little prayer for him. I said, dear God, bless him. And if you want to liberate him, then so be it. If he wants to recover, that is fine. Just tell him to stay away from me and go in peace. But if he wants some more, anytime, baby. And so I was reminded the speed and the shock power. A gentle slap can just shatter someone's bones. Collarbone, humerus bone. That is the power of true Kung Fu. I'm shocked. This guy was faster than a hummingbird, faster than a fly. I don't know what kind of bug he was, but he just decided to have a go at me, and first mistake, last mistake. 天下武功，無劍不破，唯快不破。以勢贏者，勢退則敗；以力成者，力盡則亡。Roughly that translates to, the online translations are, I don't even know if you can find it in English. The Google Translate is improving year by year, but it's by no means perfect, and they know it. They're always asking for help. Oh, could you please help improve the translation? Don't think so, mate. It goes, of all the martial arts in the world, there is no hardness that cannot be broken. Only speed cannot be broken and is invincible. Those who win by power, once their power grows weak, face defeat. Those who win by strength, once their strength is spent, must die. And this is why anybody who knows how to fight knows that when faced with a very strong, powerful opponent, simply weather the early storm. Or, of course, you can preempt. It doesn't matter how strong they are if their body is broken. Weather the early storm would be like, for instance, a famous example, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman. I think that was called the Rumble in the Jungle, not quite sure. Not that modern boxing can pretend to be a true martial art. Although I do recognize boxing is perhaps the oldest martial art in the world. Well, that is if you go by the fake history, not to be confused with his story. They've found boxers on Egyptian pottery and in the pyramids. But we do have history far older than that. For those who know about the Vedas, regardless, there is some truth to this. So I immediately took it as a boon, a blessing from God. Instant level up. 菩提灌顶. Like the Buddha's palm on your head. Just as who was it? Was it Jacob? Yes, he blessed Joseph and Manasseh on palm on the top of the head, but he crossed his hands. So got that level up. Speed. How to train it.